done got herself a old good outfit, old gingham shirt. She tied in the front like she Ginger and Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island. She got a leotard underneath because she trying not to act like such a slut, a baby slut. To like, share, and subscribe because it is so important to my success here on the Patreon and the YouTube. If you guys are not already signed to my Patreon book club, please hit the link below, and for a monthly $5 donation, you could be privy to all the shenanigans before YouTube. If YouTube gets it, because you know my overall goal is to take my book club off of YouTube and do it exclusively on the Patreon. Now let's talk about Jan Gay's After the Dance, part 1. Jan opens the book by explaining where she is. She is currently in a pseudo foster care house, unlicensed is what she calls it, okay? And it is ran by a lady named Mama Ruth Williams. Now, she was there with Louis McKay, and I know you like, huh? Louis McKay? Yeah, when they said Louis McKay, I said, what you will not do is drag my Billy D. Williams down in this fuck shit. So on this particular day, Jan and Louis was sitting in front of the TV watching American Bandstand. Now, the first dude that came on was this man named Bobby Freeman. The next dude was Marvin Gaye, and he was singing How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. Jan started hollering and screaming. Louis was like, oh, he fine, but he ain't that goddamn fine. Niggas, what y'all will not do is drag my baby down into some fuck shit, okay? Leave Billy D out of this. And I know you like, Nay, that's not real. I don't give a fuck. When you hear the name Louis McKay, you think about Billy D. Leave Billy D out of this bullshit, but hold tight. You know, I'm just telling you what I was thinking at the time, so just hold tight. Ann said she had an instant crush. She said at this point, she already started working on his plan to be his girlfriend, his wife, his baby mama, whatever. I'm saying to myself, girl, you know, this is where I'm saying I'm holding back. I'm going to hold back on that hot pussy. I'm going to hold back on it, but I digress. We go on to talk about Ruth Williams. That is her primary caretaker, okay? Mama Ruth, had Jan at the age of 14 months. Now, at 14 years, Jan is looking at Mama Ruth like her caretaker and her tormentor. Now, Mama Ruth was partial to Jan. Jan said it was because she was light-skinned with long hair and freckles, okay? So Mama Ruth changed Jan's last name to Williams. And you know back in the day you could do that. Real talk, guys, Rob is not my real last name. But, you know, that's just old country shit that I'm sure all of us, you know, was like, well, wait a minute, my name may not be. So it's very plausible for me to believe that that lady just woke up and was like, I'm about to make Jan a, you know, Williams. So according to Jan, Mama Ruth was so enamored with her that she bought Jan the best clothes from Sears and what's that other place, J.C. Penney's. I'm saying to myself, shit, back then that was pretty good working for a kid. You know, Sears and J.C. Penney was good enough, okay? And if you from D.C., if Morton's was good enough, J.C. Penney and Sears was better. Okay. She also was so partial to Jan that she got Jan lessons, piano lessons. Now, she wasn't doing this for the other kids, just Jan. Now, they lived in a 2-story home in central LA, okay? That house held 12 children, and 2 of the children were Billy D. Williams, was Billie Holiday's and Louis McKay's children. Actually, Billie Holiday's stepchildren. They were Louis McKay's children before Billy, because actually him and Billy was actually just married for about, I think it was 2 years. But I guess while Louis McKay was around there chasing behind Billy and her junkadism, okay, he had to put his kids over there. The names were Louis Jr. and Craig. Hey, I never knew. I didn't know that. Lady Sings the Blues didn't tell me that, so I didn't know. So I was defensive when she was talking about Louis McKay in the business. My bad, Jan. Okay. Just like Billie Holiday, Jan's father was a famous jazz singer. His name was Slim Gaye. She recalled seeing Billie Holiday only once while she was at the facility. She said that Billie Holiday had ultra chic style. She recalled her pappy, who only came around once a year. That's it. That's all. But she described him as being an ultra hipster. So here we are 8 years later in 1972. Jan is now 16 and she is speaking about the abuse she encountered. Okay, I don't want to go too far in it because I want to keep this PG, but she was going to a private school. Okay, I'm sure. And she had some issues with the nuns, and she also had some inappropriate behavior with Mama Ruth. Anyway, so here we are. Her mother, Barbara, who she lovingly calls Barbie. I have a concern with that. You know, I don't feel like kids should be calling their mother by their first name. I feel like you're setting yourself up to be considered a friend instead of an authoritative figure. But hey, I ain't got no kids, so I don't know. So we just anyway. Her mother, who she calls Barbie, after her doll babies. Okay, the mother took her in at age 14 because she ran away from Ruth's house. Her mother, at the time, her mother was married to a man named Earl Hunter, who had lovingly accepted Jan as his child. Beautiful, bravo. Whenever you can find a stepdad, you know, that wants to love you as a child and not love you as, you know, the second piece of pussy in the house. I'm just trying to listen. I'm keeping it real. That is an amazing thing. Good for you, Jan. So her mother was a white woman with Irish and French descent. She had dark hair and blue eyes. Now her first two husbands was white. Okay. But then she accidentally fell on, you know, an eggplant. You know, that would be Slim's Gaillard, you know, Jan's pappy. Then she's now married to her steppappy, Earl. Okay? Now, Ed Townsend is a music producer that is a part of her mammy's, Barbara's, circle. Her mother is a free-thinking, open-spirit type person. Okay, that's mostly how, you know, a lot of them stoners be, because her mammy have some drug issues. Okay, Ed Townsend is currently producing an album for Marvin Gaye. Oh, that motherfucker Jan. Oh, she could just feel herself just boiling and, ooh, I'm so close, baby. I'm so close. Now, Jan said that she never thought about the fact that Mr. Ed Townsend was a music producer. She didn't give a fuck until she found out that he was producing Marvin Gaye. Now, you know, remember, she been plotting on this ding-dong since she was, 7? She been plotting on this ding-dong a long time now. I told y'all I'm not going to drag this little girl because she's still a child, okay? I think she's still about 16 years old right now, or just hit 17, something like that. But child, all she doing right now is she thinking of a plan. Oh, I got to get next to that nigga. Then came the idea from the mammy, Ed, since you know Marvin Gaye so much, won't you have him come down here? Because the mammy's a hater. She is a loose pussy hater. You heard me? She old hater. You know, okay. You'll find out later on. But, Ed, since you know so much, won't you bring him here to her party? She get ready to turn 17 years old. Won't you bring that motherfucker here so he can sing my baby a song? Ed said, I can do that. Jan's so excited, she started inviting all her friends, everybody to the party. Okay, that 1 hour pass, 2 hour pass, 3 hour pass, that bad egg up. Okay, Ed got egg on his face. Okay, Jan was humiliated, you know, so she just kind of pulled back a little bit from Marvy Poo, you know. Just a little bit, because hold tight. A week later, Ed came back and said, I've made arrangements for you, Jan. I was like, arrangements for what? What the heck? What the Clarence Carter you talking about? Arrangements for what? I've made arrangements for you to meet MG at the studio. Oh, that girl, her pussy started burling again. Ooh, she now 17, so that pussy's hot. Okay. I'm talking about a bitch working on a plan. Listen, y'all need to follow Jan Gay's whole, what is that? It's not formula to getting pickle. Because that bitch made it. Jan's so excited. Her whole life is about Marvin Gaye. Well, it was till about a week ago. But now, when she found out that the opportunity was available again for her to, jump on that eggplant, she was there. Okay. She done got herself a good outfit, old gingham shirt. She tied in the front like she Ginger and Marianne from Gilligan's Island. She got a leotard underneath because she trying not to act like such a slut. A baby slut. So what she do is put a leotard underneath. I know you like, leotard. Listen, it's a bodysuit, okay? There's a bodysuit. We called them leotards back in the day, okay? But y'all didn't rename them to, bodysuits, but it's a leotard, okay? Because she didn't want to show her belly and all that. But then the lady put on these skin-tight bell bottoms and asked one of her mammies, junkie friends, hey junkie friend Perline, can I wear your fox coat? The coat, they said, sure baby, you can wear that fox coat. Go ahead. And notice this. All the adults is supporting this. Okay. I know I'm not the only one that's like, what is going on? Is this Roberts going on? Is this the Roberts situation? Yes. This is what's going on. The Robert situation. You got 3 adults supporting this 17-year-old girl chased behind this goddamn grown-ass man. I don't give a fuck if it is Marvin Gaye. Mammy, Barbie wanted to meet Marvin Gaye too. I know she did. Because she got old hot bimbo pussy too. So Jan describes her mother as a lovely, beautiful 44-year-old woman. Okay? Now dig this. Jan is looking at her mother like competition, okay? She says, yes, my mom is beautiful, but I have youth on my side. I'm like, what the girl. So Jan and Barbie, whatever you want to call her, Mammy, whatever you want to call her, arrived to the LA Motown recording studio, where she heard his voice first. She said it was captivating. She felt his soul before she seen his face. Girl, please. This girl's making me ill. He ain't that fucking good. Well, he is, but girl, bang. She felt like I am now entering Marvy Pooh's world. Ugh. Her mom's friend Ed, the producer, had the 2 of them sit on a couch right over there, and Marvin was on the other side of the glass singing with his eyes closed. That she was in the presence of a prince. You is doing too much. You blowing the fuck out of me. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't had love like that for anything or anybody, and that. So at the break, Marvy Pooh heads to the control room, and he is fixing to meet Jan and her mammy. Now, Ed, the producer, comes over. It's like, hey, brother. Hey, this is my girl, Jan. Now, Jan, with her hot pussy ass, I'm trying. But Jan, with her hot pussy ass, is thinking, oh, I hope he doesn't think that I'm his daughter. I hope that. Why? Because you think if they friends, Marvin Gaye may not want to fuck you because this little girl calculated. She calculated as a bug. I'll give it to her. Ain't nothing stand between her and that pickle. Nothing. So Ed, Mr. Producer, says, this is the birthday girl. Marvin says, I'm sorry I missed your birthday. Jan said that his breath smelled like apples and weed. Girl, Mr. Yuck Stickers. Ugh. What is wrong with this bitch? Now, Marvin had moved on to Barbara. Jan said she was looking at her mother like, don't you try it, bimbo. Don't you try it, slut. Marvin lit a joint and passed it around. Jan and her mother smoked together before. See, that's what happens. When you get to call your mammy by the first name, y'all smoke together. Now, I know some people who do smoke with their kids. Some people in my family do. I don't have a problem with it. I don't agree with it. But if that's how you choose to, raise your children, because some people be like, I'd rather for my kids to get high with me than anybody. I can't knock. Jan said was that she does not have a problem with weed, pretty much anything else, because she grew up in a drug culture. I told you that her mammy had some issues herself, and her father being a jazz musician, I'm sure that motherfucker had some issues too. Now hold back, y'all get ready to be like, not all jazz musicians has issues. Shut up, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones who do. Shit, y'all motherfuckers be pressed to riot. Now Jan says there was another mom and daughter duo. But this mother, Miss Gold Lame, because she said the mother had on a gold lame dress and the daughter was dressed like a whore. I'm like, well, y'all both whores. It's just, you covered up and she's not. She knew that Marvin was peeking at her out the corner of his eye. Jan said she played it cool. Girl. Okay. Jan went over to Marvy Pooh, tugged at him and was like, I want to tell you something. Marvy Pooh came over. They, talking to each other face to face. She says, Ed is not my father. I didn't want you to think that Ed was my father. Like I said, nothing's going to stand between her and Marvy Pooh's dick. Okay. So on the car ride home, Jan is in the back seat hollering and screaming. The mammy said, calm down, he ain't fucked you yet. Okay, now I'm just ad-libbing that. She ain't say that, but I know that's what that mean, hateful bitch said in her heart. Ed said, because, Ed, the producer, said, well, he's old enough to be your dad, and he's married, and he has kids. Are you okay with that? We're going to move back to 3 years earlier. I don't know why she goes back and forth in time like this, but anyway, we're moving back to 3 years earlier. Jan had left the unlicensed foster care of Miss Ruth. Now, although she was Ruth's favorite, she suffered a lot of physical abuse from her. Lashes is what she said. Starting at age 6, she was subject to a lot of Ruth's private examinations. I'm saying to myself, oh my God, could you imagine? They were out and out, blatantly inappropriate. And I'm glad at age 6 she recognized that, child. Next thing you know, she been in, girl. Anyway, when she protested the inappropriate examinations, she said Ruth would beat her ass. Even though despite all of that, she was the only woman that Jan called mama. Barbara was too busy to be her mammy. So Ruth was her makeshift mammy. Now, the thing about Barbie, her mammy, she was a part of an informal group of white women that loved black pickles. So Jan's best friend at the house with Mama Ruth, name was Megan. Megan's mother, Sheila, was also a part of this informal group that liked black pickle. So it sounds like to me like a whole bunch of white bitches that like black dick just hanging out together. I mean, it happens. I don't know why, I don't know about the informal group there. I don't know. It just sounds like a whole bunch of white women that like black dick. That's it. So although Jan's mother was a part of her life consistently, Ruth was the person who had the final word. There was one instance where Jan did something, something trivial, that an evil motherfucking bitch would be like, oh no, that's why you can't do this. Because what was going on was Jan was supposed to go to Disney World with her mother. Okay. Now, I guess because Ruth wanted to show Jan, bitch, your mother ain't in charge of the girls. I am. When Jan told Ruth, oh, I'm going to Disney World, Ruth said, no, you're not. When Barbie, Jan mammy, got there, she said, okay, Jan, let's go. Ruth said, this one right here, she ain't going nowhere. She did some old fugazi shit. It wasn't fugazi. It was just Ruth was being a bitch. Okay? But Janet did some fugazi shit. She ain't going nowhere. Now, Barbie was like, let's let her go. She tried it. You heard me. She tried it. Come on, Ruth. I'm just taking her to Disney World. I promised her she would do it. Ruth got in Jan's mother face, Barbie face, and said, if you take her today, then you take her, period. Jan's mother was like, oh no, hold on, Clarence. No. Jan, mommy is going to take you on another day, baby. I love you, but it's too many dicks to suck out there, baby. And I have too many, pills to pop, booger sugar appointments. Mama just can't do that, baby. So now 6 years later from that instance, Jan is now 14, okay? She old enough, big enough to tell Mammy Ruth to kiss her fucking ass. I'm not taking this bullshit no more. And she packed her shit and she moved to her mammy house. Her mother was a little like, damn, she gonna be fucking this up for everything. But she 14, she could take care of herself, which in for real, by the time you're 14, you definitely can take care of yourself. Hell, when it comes down to black girls, we taking care of ourselves at the age of 7. Now, this is also when she moved back home with her mother, when she changed her name to Hunter, after her mother's husband, Earl Hunter, who was a big-time drug dealer. She said that Earl and her mother fought like cats and dogs, but she didn't give a fuck. Earl loved her, and Earl was able to give her the spoils of being in the celebrity world in regards to like the athletes and every other big celebrity person that Earl was selling the boogity sugary to. It's 1971, and the current Marvin Gaye hit is What's Going On. She said her parents, Barbie, and her stepfather, Earl, were caught up in the Free Black Panther George Jackson movement, okay? Also, she talks about how her household was full with music and marijuana. So she was used to it. It was constant in their home. So it didn't scare her. It didn't make her feel uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable with that shit until I wasn't. In 1971, it was also when she lost her virginity to a dude named Bryant, okay, in a motel in La Cienega. Boo, girl. Boo. I'm saying to myself, girl, ooh, I made that mistake too, child. I lost my virginity too. Actually, you know what? Right quick, guys. I found another girl who lost their virginity to the same dude. Child, we was laughing. Talk about it was a whole struggle, okay? It was a whole struggle, Yeah. You had to be there. That's all I can say, all right? That's all I'm going to say, but move it on. So Mom and Earl started the United Prison Union, a storefront operation on Melrose Avenue. So the cause attracted Shirley Sutherland, who was the parents of twins Kiefer and Rachel Sutherland. They all became really close friends, and that also was a part of the reason why she was privy to other celebrities and luxury. Okay, so she's lived a very, lavish, luxurious, celebrity-filled life because, she's constantly around them. Here we are. Barbara, the mammy, okay, she is now working a job. She is working for a man named Mr. Luke, who is an attorney. Okay, the problem is with Barbara, the mammy, is that she always blurred the lines between employer and employee. Okay, not right. But then one day, Mr. Luke, he was throwing a pool party. Okay, and he invited Barbie there. Barbie invited Jan. In fact, she insisted that Jan come to the party. Jan wanted to enjoy the pool, so she went. She ain't thinking nothing about why would they want a 17-year-old there to, all those, Mr. Yuck stickers. She went, right? Now, they pulled up to this mansion, and Luke is in his 40s. He greeted them at the door. Now, he kissed Jan on the cheek and then introduced the two ladies to Big Jack. Big Jack was old fat belly pig that stood 6 foot tall with a Star of David around his neck and hair all over his body. You know, Jan looking at him like, Mr. Yuck Stickers. Now, Mr. Luke and his toupee was hosting about 20 guests, okay? There were refreshments that you could eat and other refreshments, okay? Now, that would, if you don't know, that would be, boogity sugarity in the joint, okay? Jan turned into her little 2-piece bikini, okay? And, if you don't know, but Jan is very aware of her sexuality and that she's an attractive woman. So it is funny to her to get in the pool and pull off her top and see all those men around her salivating. That's funny to her. She says she loves the attention. She loves it. That attention gonna get you fucked up, girl. So she wanted to feel the power and the thrills of having all those men attracted to her. What she did was she jumped in the water and pulled off her top. Her mother smiled proudly. I'm saying to myself, what kind of flowers in the attic bullshit is this, child? But I digress. But then the little girl started worrying. What if these men decide to jump in the pool with me? At any rate, love bugs, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, and subscribe because it is so important to my success here on the YouTube. Now, remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves, have a good one.